Westwood High School science teacher Neil Blum plans to travel extensively during his retirement. He might even visit some of the places he has taught in his career, such as New Zealand and the Marshall Islands. He will miss working with students, and he's most proud of trying not to be proud of anything he has done. Pam Braswell has been working in education for 30 years despite being told that a brain injury she sustained 16 years ago would be the end of her teaching career. But she hasn't missed a beat since. Pam finishes her career as a first-grade teacher at Sandlapper, where she is known as Sandlapper's Master Gardener, keeping the school looking green, fresh, and bright. She worked as a teacher's assistant with special ed children at Forest Lake Elementary back in the early 80s, and then became a teacher at Joseph Keels Elementary in the mid-90s. After 10 years at E.O. Wright Middle School and a decade at the Center for Knowledge, Vic Kane has served Richland Two well, sharing his love of visual arts with thousands of children throughout the years. He also taught for 17 years at Lower Richland High, where he was named Teacher of the Year, as well as at E.O. Wright. He plans to retire to Lake Wateree and work on creating his own art. Kane's career has been a masterpiece for Richland Two.
Rita Daniels is leaving the Pontiac Elementary cafeteria to do some cooking of her own. For the last 5 years, she has been feeding the wonderful children at her school and now looks forward to spending time with her husband. Enjoy every minute of it, Rita. Thanks to the hard and smart work of Bob Davis, Richland Two has become a financial role model for many districts in South Carolina and around the country. The Chief Financial Officer is most proud of the district's AA credit rating, building 20 new schools in 15 years, and the financial performance of the district. One thing you may not know about this Gamecock fan, he is known to pull for Clemson when the team plays UNC. In retirement, Bob plans to do consulting and work with the historic Columbia Foundation. Richland Two employees are very grateful to Bob for the district's financial security over the last 15 years.
Linda Garris Despain has worked at 11 schools in her 33 years in Richland Two and leaves as a resource teacher at Ridgeview High School. Her first stop in the district was at Blythewood Elementary and Bethel Hanbury, and to this day, she gets together each year for a reunion with the Bethel Hanbury faculty and staff. She is very proud of being named Teacher of the Year in 1989, and of course, she is very proud of her 4 grandchildren.
The only choral director that Richland Northeast High School has ever known is playing his swan song on his teaching career. Award-winning teacher Craig Dunsing winds up a 37-year teaching career with his first 2 years in District 1. Highlights include the Cavalier Chorale winning the Grand Championship at the Music in the Parks Choral Festival in Hershey, Pennsylvania in 1989, outscoring 92 other choirs. Craig was also District Teacher of the Year in 1993 and a Fulbright Scholar to Japan in 1998. He will continue with music and church, composing and arranging, and teaching in the South Carolina Virtual School Program. Kathleen France taught English in Richland Two for the last 4 years, but retires after 32 years in education. At Spring Valley High School, she loved the diversity, the school spirit, the work ethic, and most of all, the students. She has a new job as a screenplay editor for a production company and is moving to Austin, Texas to be near her grandchildren. She is most proud that after losing her husband at age 43, she helped her children to become amazing adults and she forged a wonderful life for herself. Bill Gillum has left his teaching mark on almost every area of South Carolina, from the Low Country to the Upstate, but Richland Two was happy to have him as a math teacher for the last 13 years. He retires from Westwood High School, but also taught at every other Richland Two High School and Blythewood Middle. His accomplishments include serving as president of the South Carolina Council of Teachers of Mathematics, earning his National Board certification, and receiving the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching, the nation's highest honor for math and science teachers.
Gracias to Richland Northeast High School Spanish teacher Carol Gist for her 5 years at the school and for her 34 years of teaching. Of all the schools where she has worked, she says the faculty at Richland Northeast was the most welcoming of all. The lifelong learner hopes to travel to national parks and will continue to volunteer at Congaree National Park and teach aquafit classes at Gold's Gym. Congratulations on your retirement.
John Goldsboro brought professionalism and a lot of fun to his career, which was all spent in Richland School District 2. He has taught alert, history, and science at Blythewood Middle since it opened. He also taught at Spring Valley High School and E.L. Wright, Dent, and Bethel Hanbury Middle Schools. During his 28 years in the district, he was selected Teacher of the Year and the 2012 South Carolina Bar Law-Related Education Teacher of the Year. He feels fortunate to have worked with colleagues who he says include the best professionals in education. He plans to travel and spend more time with his beautiful wife of 32 years.
Ronald Goodson came to Richland 2 in 1980 as a custodian. He has worked at E.L. Wright Middle, Lonnie B. Nelson Elementary, and ends his career at Richland Northeast High. He says he has truly enjoyed working in the schools and always took pride in his custodial work. He enjoyed making people smile and liked to hear "job well done." Job well done, Ronald Goodson. Paula Gordon, known as the Cave Woman of TLC, made the middle school experience memorable for thousands of magnet students since TLC began in 1996. She arrived in the district 12 years earlier at North Springs Elementary, where she was named Teacher of the Year. She moved on to teach alert for 12 years until she was asked to be part of the district's first magnet program. She says after 33 years of teaching, she continues to be in awe of her former students' accomplishments, and many of them credit their TLC experience with Ms. Gordon and the late Ernie Compton for their success. Judy Gray is leaving a field that has been part of her whole life because her grandfather, mother, and two younger sisters were teachers. After teaching in Arkansas and North Carolina, her husband was stationed in Germany, where she volunteered in a reading program. Upon return to South Carolina, she started subbing at Richland Northeast as the registrar, until a 6-week stint turned into a full-time job. That was 19 years ago, and since then she's helped thousands of students prepare for college and the working world. She says the best part about her position was being part of the Cavalier family at Richland Northeast.
Kathleen Henderson retires from Blythewood High School after 9 years of teaching special ed and 7 years of teaching math at Blythewood Middle School. She will be moving to Maryland to join her husband, who transferred there, but the plan is to move back in 2 years. The highlight will be spending time with her first grandchild, born a month ago. She is most proud of the success of her students, whether passing the math portion of the HSAP or developing a plan for life after graduation. Jacqueline Howard has retirement and marriage to look forward to. The Spring Valley Career and Technology teacher is getting married in June and moving to Atlanta. She served our district for 19 years and also taught in Charleston County Schools and Richland 1. She is most proud that after 36 years of teaching, she has never regretted entering the teaching profession. Best wishes, Jacqueline, on your next stage of life. For almost 30 years, Bonnie Eisman gave Richland 2 her talent and her love for students, their families, and fellow teachers and staff. 8 years teaching at Windsor and the last 23 at Pontiac Elementary have been a bonus for our district. She hopes to continue working part-time with struggling students, tutor, and spend time with her grandchildren. What will she miss most? Meeting new students at the beginning of the school year. She says she is rewarded daily with success stories from her students. Shirley Kennedy will finally get to sleep at night. The child development teacher at Clemson Rd Child Development Center says in her 33 and a half years of education, she stayed awake, always thinking of different things to do with her students the next day or the next week. Shirley has been with the district since 1999 and previously worked with young students in Fairfield County and Richland 1. She will miss the hugs, smiles, unconditional honesty, and the love of her students. She is proud that many parents requested to have her teach several of their children and that several of her students told her they became a teacher because of her.
Mary Ann Lockard has taught 4th grade at Pontiac Elementary since it opened in 1990, and now her first Pontiac students are 32 years old, bringing their own children to the school. And she keeps up with many of them. She will miss being involved in an active learning environment and her daily contact with friends. In retirement, she hopes to travel, spend time with family, work in her yard, stay active with church activities, and of course, enjoy time with her grandchildren. Richland 2 gained a gem when South Carolina Teacher of the Year, Mary Lostetter, came to our district in 2000 to teach math and become the district math coach. For the last 10 years, she has been the K-12 math coordinator, making sure the numbers add up to success for Richland 2 students. In retirement, she plans to relax and become more active in her church and community. She is most proud of having made a difference in the lives of her students, teachers, and math leaders. A fond farewell to Richard Lucier, who serves as an administrative lead teacher at Ridgeview High School and a foreign language and social studies teacher. He has been with the district since 2004. Before that, he taught French, Spanish, and Latin in Beaufort County, Newberry, and Saluda. He is most proud of achieving national board status and earning his doctorate at USC. He plans to read, relax, lift weights, and help his aging parents.
Dr. Marty Martin retires as principal of Ridgeview High School. He moved up the ranks in the district beginning in 1976 when he was hired as a teacher at E.L. Wright Middle School. For 10 years, he headed up the Gifted and Talented program at Spring Valley High, which led to student activities director and then assistant principal. He left for 6 years to lead AC Flora High School and returned to the district in 2004 as the Blazer principal. For 37 years, he has impacted the lives of so many of his students and staff. In retirement, he hopes to continue to do work that improves the lives of others, as well as working on his bucket list, which includes scuba diving certification and swimming with sharks and alligators. Thank you for all you have done for Richland 2.
Kindergarten aide Teresa McLendon has spent her 25 years in education at Richland 2 at Conder Elementary. She loved the children she worked with and will miss them the most, especially the stories they tell. The most rewarding part of her career is when she runs into former students who tell her they are now teaching school because of her encouragement. Enjoy spending time with your family and in the garden. You deserve it.
Preschool children brought out the best of Carol Murdaugh, who served as a school psychologist for preschool special services at Pontiac Elementary. She will miss seeing the little ones progress through the preschool programs and knowing how they're doing when they get to higher grades. Carol has been with Richland 2 for 6 years and previously worked as a school psychologist in New York and Newberry County schools and as director of psychological services at Will Gray School in West Columbia. She looks forward to spending time with her children and 5 grandchildren, knitting and scrapbooking. Carrie Murray has been able to get the English department at Westwood High School off to a good start, as she did previously at Spring Valley High School for 14 years. Sounds like Carrie will be even busier in retirement as she plans to entertain more, continue as an adjunct professor at Benedict College, and continue to be active in her church, alumni association, and women's group. She is most proud of the high percentage of students who pass the HSAP exam on the first try and the high passage rate of her students on the AP English exam. Louise Neal is successfully ending her second career. Her first 30 years in the working world were in the insurance industry. Her first teaching job was in Fairfield County for 5 years. She came to Ridgeview High School 7 years ago as a math teacher, where she says her days were filled with new knowledge and revelations, camaraderie and mutual support and encouragement. Her first love is reading and writing, and she plans to have something published in between traveling and spending time with her family and friends.
A few married couples are retiring together this year. First, the Neals. Manager of Financial Services Marshall Neal has worked in the finance office since 1986, and his hugs, sweet smile, and willingness to help will be missed by everyone at the district office. He plans to continue to travel, take photography courses, and sharpen his culinary skills in retirement. Speaking of which, his grilled steaks and cheesecakes he made for the end of the year luncheon and for district fundraisers will be missed. Susie Neal has served our district in many capacities, most recently as the College Information Specialist at Blythewood High School. She also taught English at E.L. Wright and Spring Valley High School and spent much of her career in various positions at Ridgeview High School. Her colleagues say they enjoyed her sense of humor and her ability to cheer people up when they needed a boost. She is most proud of the students who have achieved success in finding their own passion, and thanks to social media, she is able to hear from them regularly. Jean Norris has touched the lives of hundreds of kindergarten students at Bookman Road since she arrived in the district 15 years ago. Her career in education began 36 years ago in Somerville, then on to Georgetown, Richland 1, and then thankfully to Bookman Road. Her principal says it will be a very sad day when she leaves Bookman for the last time, and that she will be missed but not forgotten. One side note about Jean Norris, in 1965, she earned her pilot's license at age 14 to become the youngest pilot in South Carolina at the time.
After 39 years in education and 26 at Richland 2, the district says goodbye to Audrey Ratchford, a former Teacher of the Year, Principal, and Director of State and Federal Programs for the district. She enjoyed the many opportunities to learn, grow, and challenge herself to do her best and the best for her children. In her free time, she enjoys two different ends of the spectrum, reading devotionals and listening to strong inspirational leaders, and watching her favorite two soap operas, Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful. In retirement, it's all about the grandson, where she'll kiss and help nurture and educate her handsome grandbaby boy. Best wishes to Carol Robinson, a resource and career prep teacher at Ridgeview High School who's been with the district for 14 years and 17 years with Fairfield County Schools. She will miss the laughing and teasing with her students, which kept her young at heart. She plans to spend more time with the 4 generations of her family, take advantage of master gardening activities, get back into shape, and travel. She is most proud of her former students who have overcome personal problems or physical handicaps to achieve educational success.
Sanja Rogers has been an exemplary teacher for more than 30 years. After 6 years in Dillon as a music teacher, she joined Richland Two in 1988 at North Springs Elementary, teaching music for 2 years before moving to 3rd grade. She is ending her stellar career at Round Top Elementary after teaching 4th grade since its opening. She earned her National Board certification the first year it was an option. She loved developing close personal friendships with many of her colleagues. She is a member of the Jewel Tones, a women's choral group at her church, and looks forward to gardening, baking, and traveling. Thank you, Mary Salter, for making sure our paychecks got to us on time twice a month. The Director of Payroll and Accounts Payable leaves the district after 16 years and 13 in Richland 1. Most people don't know this about Mary, but Mary was a Honda mama for many years and loved riding a Honda Goldwing. Mary always knew she was part of a family in Richland 2, but learned during life cycle events just how special her co-workers are. She plans to volunteer at Baptist Hospital and with hospice and, of course, spoil her great-granddaughter. Keels Elementary Outstanding Teaching Assistant for the last 10 years, Denise Antoinette Scott, is retiring after 22 years in the district, which include 5 years as a math assistant at Spring Valley High School and 6 years teaching Spanish at Keels. She has ambitious plans after retirement, including starting her own arts and crafts business, assisting her daughter in her speech therapy practice, and writing children's books. She is most proud that she loved every student she taught and tried to give them 150%. Jean Marie Siva has been in education for more than 30 years, the first 10 as an elementary school teacher in Belgium, and the last 10 as a school psychologist, clerical assistant at Richland Northeast and Catawba Trail Elementary. In retirement, she plans to travel, take care of her grandchildren, and help or work in the school district. She is most proud of her children and husband.
Another couple, Doris and John Smith, are saying farewell to Richland 2. Doris has been in the district since 1992 and serves as a parent educator at Keels Elementary and Clemson Rd Child Development. Before that, she was a social worker in the upstate. She enjoyed sharing parenting skills with parents and the day-to-day interaction with students. She is most proud of her husband and son and plans to garden, read, and cook in retirement. John Smith also arrived in the district from the upstate in 1992 and has been teaching 8th grade social studies in the Alert program at Dent and now at E.L. Wright. He enjoyed being able to use a variety of teaching strategies, and he is very proud to see many of his students grow up to be productive citizens of society. He plans to visit historical sites and collect and read books in retirement. Thank you, Doris and John Smith, for your service to Richland 2. Thank you to Michael Says for taking good care of the district's heating and air conditioning the past 7 years. His 42 years in the HVAC industry also included work at the Department of Defense and the Department of Veteran Affairs. He is most proud of his professional work ethic and in retirement plans to complete an addition on his home. Margaret Walden leaves Richland 2 as an instructional programs coordinator. It's the same position she had when she arrived in Richland 2 14 years ago, but the name has been tweaked several times. She also created and serves as the director of R2VS, the largest and longest running district virtual school in South Carolina. Before Richland 2, she taught at Fort Mill High School, worked at the South Carolina Department of Education, at PBS, and as an assistant principal at Fairfield Central High School. School. One thing you may not know about Margaret Walden, she got a tattoo on her 60th birthday. Hope you continue to live it up in your retirement. After 13 years as principal, Dr. Shirley Watson bids a warm farewell to her Conder Elementary family. Shirley has spent 34 years in education, beginning in Greenwood, Sumter, and then 8 years as an assistant administrator at Dent Middle School. She is most proud of being part of the development of the Arts Magnet at Conder, where students are given an opportunity to develop talents and skills that they would not have had. And that leads to what she wants to do in retirement: learn how to play the piano. May your retirement be filled with beautiful melodies.
Lynn Werner came to North Springs Elementary 5 years ago to teach English and social studies. That's after a colorful and varied career in education in New York, California, and Pennsylvania. She is most proud of being one of the first teachers to receive National Board certification and was invited to a party at the White House. After retirement, she plans to spend a lot of time with her husband of 44 years, her 3 children, and 9 grandchildren. And one of her goals is to learn how to improve her skills playing the drums. You can't beat that. It's hard to leave your family after 13 years, but that's how it feels to Sandra Weston as she leaves the 2nd grade classroom at Forest Lake Elementary. She says she will treasure those memories forever. Sandra also worked in Richland 1 for 10 years before coming to Richland 2. In retirement, she plans to spend more time with her mother and 5 grandchildren, visiting their schools and volunteering.
Catherine Whiting has been serving up delicious meals the last 7 years in Richland 2. Before that, she did clerical work at Fort Jackson and Fort Hood, Texas. What she enjoyed most about her job was encouraging students to eat healthy and lead healthier lives. In retirement, she hopes to work with health and wellness clients.
Barbara Wilkie has contemplated retirement several times, but enjoys working with children so much she's always come back. The teaching assistant at Bookman Road leaves a lasting impression. She was instrumental with many things in the classroom, but also led the Walk for Life team for several years, as well as worked in the after-school program. Before Bookman Road, Barbara was at North Springs Elementary for 14 years. Thank you, Barbara, for spending your entire career at Richland 2. Deborah Young's music career comes to an end at Lonnie B. Nelson Elementary. She served as a music educator at Nelson, as well as at Lee County, Kershaw County, and St. Joseph's School. She enjoyed student interaction and her relationships with students, parents, and peers. In retirement, you may see her in community theater or relaxing with a good book.
Appreciation for your lifelong dedication to education, for believing in children, for guiding through example, for inspiring with passion, for living through loving, for leaving an indelible mark on the future, for touching the human soul. You have made all the difference.